Following the general elections held in 2022 and in fulfillment with Sections 19 subsection 2 and 3 of the Intergovernmental Relations Act 2012, the Council of Governors held the elections on the 17th of September 2022 for the chairperson, vice chairperson, and the whip, and the council committee chairs. This was the first COG executive team to be elected in this third cycle of devolution. It comprised of Her Excellency Anwar Guru, His Excellency Ahmed Abdullahi, and His Excellency Stephen Sang, all who were unanimously elected and all who served for 2 years. This video highlights the achievements of the executive and the committee chairs in the last 2 years.
What it means to be a chair of the Council of Governors is, first of all, it's not a rank position. It's just first amongst equals. All governors are at the same level. They're all elected in their counties, and so they choose one of their own to provide leadership for a period of time. It requires a lot of engagement with colleagues. It requires you to work mostly with committee chairs, the secretariat, and other stakeholders to ensure that the objectives of devolution are achieved. I remember my colleagues telling me that we are not electing you because you're a woman, we're electing you because you're a good leader. And that was very humbling. But having said that, it was another broken glass ceiling for the women of Kenya.
I would describe our tenure as being extremely transformative in many ways, and we've achieved a lot. And the data speaks for itself.
We all appreciate that the Council of Governors operates not just as through council meetings, but actually primarily through committees. We have seen many committees undertake their responsibilities. We have achieved a lot of engagement with various development partners, with various stakeholders, with the national government, with primarily Parliament, both the Senate and the National Assembly, through the active participation of committees.
We have managed to do certain things that are very critical to devolution. One of them, for example, is the process of unbundling of devolved functions. It's taken us 10 years of devolution to actually get to a place where we have actually managed to unbundle. One that follows with what I had mentioned about the unbundling of functions is the ECDA program, because that function was actually devolved without any costing or any unbundling. And during my tenure, we have managed to do that. It has been costed and estimated that early education costs counties about 22 billion shillings a year. Another achievement has been the strengthening of devolution through increased resources. We have managed to increase the resources that were allocated under the equitable share to county governments from 370 billion shillings in the year 2021-22 to now 400 billion. Despite the fact that we are still waiting for the new CARA that had been approved before we had the challenges with the finance bill. But outside of the exchequer, during my tenure, we have increased resources by 137% in conditional grants.
For a very long time, we didn't have structured engagements with our development partners, but the Resource Mobilization Committee managed to organize. I think we have had 2 sessions with development partners. I think that this is also one other committee that presents a good opportunity for the council to engage with the development partners and ensure that we co-create programs together with the development partners, so that whatever it is that comes out of our engagement with development partners is something that county governments and the council has given input.
We've had a very good, in spite of challenging times, good working relationship with the national government. So we have taken intergovernmental relations to a different level. We've been through a lot as a country in the last 2 years. But in spite of the challenges in the economy and in the political space, we have tried our best to resolve intergovernmental disputes and issues as cordially as possible. And we moved or inched closer to getting a closure on the issue of completing the unbundling of functions and consummating the transfer process.
We had a very successful devolution conference in Eldoret, which had over 8,000 participants, provided again a framework for sharing information, getting people to know the successes of devolution, and also engaging with stakeholders, development partners, non-state actors on how we can continue improving service delivery at the local level. During the devolution conference, we also introduced the Devolution Warrior Awards, and we gave awards to people who we recognize have contributed to the devolution journey and can be leaders in their respective sectors to encourage other people to participate and exemplify service delivery at a devolved level. Prior to the devolution conference, we had our children's devolution conference. That was very unique. It brought young people together to discuss their aspirations on devolution. What is it that they expect from devolved functions? What is it they expect from those who have been elected, even if they are not eligible to vote, so that we can understand the expectation of the future generation. One of my contributions is in strengthening of systems and structures. You have heard what we're doing with Marifa Center that takes very key lessons from various counties on successes, trailblazers, and translating that across all other counties, and ensuring that we're providing a framework for peer-to-peer learning. And that has helped significantly improve service delivery in the counties. And on matters welfare, the Ugatuzi Circle cuts across all counties. And this circle was set up to support our staff and those who work within the county governments with financial services. We came up with the G7. We said that, yes, we started with first 3 female governors, and now we are 7. And I wanted to play a role in ensuring that that gain is not reversed, that after these 5 years, we will see more women governors elected. And the reason that we have the G7 program now is one, to highlight the achievements that women governors have achieved, and to send a message mostly to the electorate that women governors can be elected and they can deliver. Another achievement during my tenure is that we managed to develop a 5-year strategic plan for the council, which runs from the year 2022 to 2027. And the objective of the strategic plan is to strengthen governance and accountability and transparency in service delivery. On other things other than sector forums, we have had programs that have been very unique during my tenure. The UHC, for example, the President and the National Government, Ministry of Health, and the county governments, and we're all aligned on the new delivery of the universal healthcare, which will start being implemented from this coming month. We have managed to get most of our counties past the FIF laws at county level, which is the Facility Improvement Fund. And this is supposed to help counties generate revenue from the health sector, but also ensure that those revenues are secured and used within the health sector to improve both the facilities and the human resource service and provision of medicine, etc. And we can say about 41 counties have managed to pass the FIF law. We've also managed to improve provision of primary health care through what we call the CHPs, You know, the community health promoters. We're doing that with the national government, where we provide a stipend for these people who volunteer or work at primary healthcare level, for level 1 and 2s mostly, and within the communities, and within a framework that we call the community health networks, which also we have established at every level of the counties. Another program that is very critical for counties, and that we expect will translate into increased welfare, better welfare for communities, is the agricultural programs that we have managed to implement. There is the NAV CDP, and then we have also the FSRP program. And both of those programs, we have managed to get resources for them, an estimate of 40 billion shillings that is going to the counties for the next 5 years. And we expect that it will translate to improved agricultural output, and more than that, also increasing the welfare of farmers at the county level. I'm very proud of the achievement, especially for this, because it's increased resources under the conditional grants at county level. We also have another program that has been very critical to many counties, called the Kenya Urban Support Program. And under this program, we have secured $350 million, which is about 44 billion shillings, that is going to counties. Most of these counties have municipalities and urban areas, and comes to about 71 municipalities and about 4 cities that are benefiting from that program. And the program works specifically to improve infrastructure in those counties, building roads, facilities like fire stations, improving the infrastructure to make these municipalities move from the level of just urban areas to municipalities. Finally, on the programs, we have one on climate change, which we built on from COP28 and COP29, which is called FLOCA. And under that program, we have managed to get the role and the involvement of subnational governments in the whole conversation on climate change, and also in developing action plans that can be implemented at local level. In all our counties, we have set up climate change units, and we have also passed laws in most of our counties for the same. One of the greatest challenge that I've encountered, and has been encountered by my predecessors, was the attempt to claw back on devolution. That has really been a challenge. You're always making 2 steps forward, and then you take another step back. Another challenge has been the shrinking fiscal space. As you know, every year there is inflation, there is number of people who require services increase. However, our growth trajectory in the amount of resources that we receive at county level has not been commensurate. The other challenge is the difficulty that has been with trying to anchor COG into law. The law recognizes the Council of Governors, all right, but in terms of being in the law so that it can be funded both concurrently by the National Treasury and the county governments has been a challenge. The final challenge is the balance between the politics of the day and safeguarding devolution. My words of advice to my successor is always be focused on devolution and why the council exists. Always ensure that you're bringing all stakeholders on board so that we minimize on the friction and resistance. Sometimes it looks like you're giving in, but be extremely strategic in ensuring that you achieve the objectives that you set out to achieve. And finally, ensure that every county feels that it has been represented and that their needs have been met, so that there is not at any one time that one county feels that it has been disenfranchised because of either another or because of our policy that we have put in place. If my successor does that, keep good relations with your peers, always respect the fact that you're first amongst equals, and that all governors are the same, at the same level, and you're given the privilege to lead for a season, I think you will be successful.